Okay, let me ask you something that has come up. People have asked me this before. Is there a distinction between something, an intangible like research or goodwill, consumer goodwill, brand name, these kind of intangibles, and money? Is money considered intangible?
Yeah. I prefer to keep the last one out, But since you bring in money, I think that was one of the debate that we had in our discussion during the research forum. But let's start with research, for example. Yeah. In fact, the first accounting standard that actually addressed intangible was in research. Research itself, as we are aware, in the academic community as well as in the industry, falls into various categories. But at the end of the day, when we want to capture it in financial statements or in financial reporting, it is about what is the perceived economic benefits and whether these economic benefits are within the control of the reporting entity. Now, if these perceived economic benefits of research are within the control of the reporting entity, then it can be recognized as an asset. But research itself, as we are aware, until it has met its technical requirements and commercial viability, it becomes development. Development, as you see, as a prototype or a product that can be commercially sold. So it starts as an intangible, but it may end as a tangible asset. But what will be captured will be a tangible asset with an intangible component. Now let's take goodwill, for example. In the case of goodwill, there's no bad will.
Well, there is. BP had incurred some bad will with its oil spill.
Yes, that will be impairment as we report it in terms of its value of the entity. But when we talk about goodwill, it is always something that inherent until it is acquired. All right. So when I say inherent, means it is part of the business deal or the part of the business relationship. So this goodwill actually came from relationships with the customers. All right. And finally, people see value in building relationships with the entity. Also, goodwill could also reflect the quality of the product, the brand, the reputation, and so on. Again, it is part and not separable until it is acquired and valued separately. Even then, because of uncertainty in the value of goodwill, recent accounting requirements has said, well, if it is uncertain, we write it off almost immediately post-purchase. This is to prevent overvaluation of the goodwill. And the last part, money itself. Is money intangible? I think the more appropriate understanding of money here as a financial asset becomes a question. Unless we describe money, I think, from another perspective, which has intrinsic value, which is like gold, silver, and so on. Now, if you say money is of that nature, then it is tangible. But money today, as we understand, it is more of a function of trust and confidence. All right. Even we talk about the physical gold, it is more the measure of the gold that is used as a basis for money rather than physical gold itself. Now, when we move to that, then we have derived value. Now, when we have derived value, now this is where we talk about financial assets. Financial assets are technically derived value, all right? But where does that value come from? This is, again, the debate. So, a significant part of it is technically intangible because it is perceived value and it can be recognized, it can be tradable, and it has some kind of stability as a store of value, which we describe money.
Okay, now your paper is pretty technical. Who do you think will benefit most by reading it?
Okay, this report was research was actually done much earlier because there was a strong felt need. Given that with the network economy that we have today, and now we talk about fintech, there is more technology based value. In other words, the value of your iPhone depending on the version, right? Which technology is inside that iPhone. It's not so much the physical. So intangible is actually important to everyone. It's just that the question is, do we recognize and do we realize the intangible component? What are we paying for every day? So if you ask me, who should read this paper? Anyone who is affected by intangibles. But like you've mentioned correctly, Trias, the issue of technicalities. Now, the language of accounting has always been a challenge because of its technicalities. Just like I've described to you how a car can be perceived differently from the accounting technical perspective. But it is the precision in the language that is particularly important in financial reporting, which I hope the readers will appreciate when they read this report, so that we can be more precise and specific to the issue that we want to address.
Don't forget to keep watching. We'll have more installments from this series, Inside Islamic Finance, posted from time to time on the iFikr website.